Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Songs of Conquest, where today we begin our fourth song, the third song, Together for Her. The once great barony of Loth longs for the glory days of the Empire. When they welcome the scholars of the Unseen Society into their lands, hope is rekindled to restore order to the world and bring back the peace and prosperity of the Aurelian Empire. And I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. I can't... Ooh, boy. The phrase, restore order to the world and bring back the peace and prosperity of the Empire, it's just... There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. Makes me very uncomfortable about a lot of this. Hey, what if the undead were, like, cool and rad? What if they were a faction of cool and rad dudes? That would be an interesting take for a game, don't you think? Anyway, let's try it on Worthy. In the year 592 AA, Baron Aldous of Loth traveled his lands collecting the tithe he owed the Stoutheart barony. Reaching the final part of his journey, a passage called the Trail of Oaths, he hoped not only to collect the final taxes needed, but also renew his oath to Aurelia. So we saw this guy like very briefly, once I think, during that last campaign. Right, the wielders that the other factions have had to deal with are mostly Coral Lightbringer and Murkoth. Murkoth, the giant magic suit of armor. Baron Aldous of Loth had traveled to the southern point of his barony to collect the taxes owed from his remote villages, and to claim a hefty sum of gold from the Barian house of Fairbrand, who had been leasing his lands in exchange for gold. Okay, this area looks familiar. I feel like they start us on a sort of like a path that curves like this an awful lot. A well-maintained shrine of Aurelia was the first shrine along the Trail of Oaths. Many followers of Aurelia visited the shrine to renew their oath for the years to come. Aldous approached the shrine and bent a knee. "Oh, Aurelia, how you would weep to see your empire now. Your most loyal servants of Loth are reduced to rent collectors, bowing to Stoutheart and leasing our ancient lands to these Barian merchants. But no more. When I collect the final installment from the Barians, we'll reclaim our land and be free of the debt to Stoutheart. By blood and bone, my essence now forever, I pledge to thee in peacetime and in war. Aurelia the Great and your endeavors, I swear my oath to serve forevermore." Once again, doesn't actually interact with the shrine before taking control away from me for whatever reason. Note that collecting taxes from Pilgrim's Rest is optional, which is weird. Hey, everything's on fire. Can he see that? We can't get up there. That's not like up on a cliff. Maybe that's only visible from our vantage point here. So we have some basic Orlean troops actually with us here. A bedraggled group of peasants were working on the road. "Ho there, farmer. What are you working on that keeps you from the fields?" "Forgive us, Baron. We've been cursed with heavy rains and flooding. Much of the crop has been lost, and we're afraid the river will rise again and wash away the road." We must pray that the Empress Aurelia will intervene to stop the river, and in the meantime do what we can. Your initiative commends you, but why have you all armed yourselves?" "Oh, there have been many attacks by brigands lately, my Lord Baron." "Brigands. I will drive them from these parts, but I'll need your help to do it. Come with me, and we'll care for the roads once these brigands are dealt with." "Gladly, my lord. With the blessing of Aurelia, we'll deal with this scum." Yeah, hell yeah. Welcome aboard. Also, I'm going to steal all the gold from your farm, obviously. I assume you knew that. No survivors remain, but as ever, building materials and stuff. Near the ruins of an old farmstead stood a farmer with his family. As he saw the Baron's forces approaching, he brought his boy with him to meet them on the road. "My Baron, you are a welcome sight in these troubled times. Here are the taxes owed for the year." "My dear man, how is it possible you still have this?" "Well, we were lucky, and the brigands didn't find the chest I had buried. We hid in the nearby swamp as they burned it all. Please, take it." No, my good fellow, I will not accept taxes from a family in need such as yours. Use this to rebuild. My forces should have prevented this from happening in the first place. Oh, Baron Aldous, I am speechless. Keep your gold, farmer. Aurelia's blessings be upon you. And you, my Baron. You have my undying gratitude. Alright, so we got some wolves down to the south. I mean, we want to, obviously, connect with as many of these buildings as we can, as quickly as we can. So down into the east is probably the way forward. Let's take a moment and go west here into the corner. Take care of all of this stuff. Pilgrim's Rest was a common place to stop for pilgrims traveling the Trail of Oaths. But now it had fallen into disrepair, and many of the fields lay underwater. Baron Aldous, Aurelia's blessing be upon you. And upon you. I saw signs of brigands on the way, a burnt farmstead. Have they stolen the yearly tithe? Yes, my lord. Lately many bands of brigands have been ravaging the roads and farmsteads. Well, we've armed ourselves as best we could, but we couldn't stop them. They've stolen almost everything. Cursed brigands. I'm sorry I didn't come sooner, but together we'll drive them out of these lands. We will teach these brigands what the followers of Aurelia do to our enemies. We'll gladly join you. We should head to Mason's Quarry and see if they still stand. There's a small garrison there. By my oath to Aurelia, I shall clear the roads of brigands and retrieve the gold for the tithe. Okay, more crossbows, always a good thing, and these buildings already belong to us. Just go ahead and get some stuff going here. So, I was sort of wondering, like, are we allowed to build units yet? Because we don't, we're not in undead mode, and the answer is no. We're not allowed to build any unit creation structures whatsoever. Okay, well then, back to it. Do we want to knock out these wolves over here? I guess, like, the experience would be useful. We'll probably lose some people. But yeah, I think this is a sensible thing to do. I don't trust the quick resolve on this one. Well, okay, they get their turn first, and they really move in on us. I do wish that the melee troop was going last in the turn order. It was a real bummer that... I guess I'm gonna just, like, block here. Okay, so 6 to 9 killed. And you're doing 3 to 4 each. You're doing 1 to 3 each, but there's twice as many of you. So we're definitely not removing a stack here. Okay, we got their damage nice and low. I am disinclined to attack, I think. Let's let the archers deal with this in a way that doesn't cost us any more bodies. It does look like the actual resources that the wolves are guarding probably not worth the trouble, but other stuff is certainly worth the trouble, like order magic. I mean, order magic is good. Do I want to? We're so limited in troop space right now. No, let's go for magic first. All right, reflect on what's been achieved and what should be achieved. Well, we have a good start experience-wise, at least. Let's go hug the shrine. Aldous approached the old shrine of Aurelia and knelt. Aurelia, I ask for your strength and guidance in the battles to come. Help me to help my people. Aurelia, Aurelia eternal, I lay my worth to measure on your scale. You hold us all, protective and maternal. May those who stand against you ever fail. Okay, so we got our bandits over here. We have some lumber and an abandoned cart. It might not be a good idea to get into more fights, honestly. We have a lot of money now. I could build a trading post. Probably it's not worth doing. Yeah, I guess like a stoneworks at a lumber mill, maybe? We can start accumulating building materials. So I'll probably remove the croft and put in a lumber mill, and then maybe rebuild the croft over here. You know, for just until we are given access to our real units, which I assume is something that will happen fairly early in the scenario. Obviously, what we're waiting for here is our narrative justification for necromancy. You know what? Let's try it. A pack of Dreeth emerged from the trees. Dreeth, here. The wolves are bad enough. We must destroy them before they spread. That's interesting. Probably the other way around, right? Okay, so obviously Dreeth are even more dangerous. What is your deadly range? Is it 3 or 4? Okay, 6. I mean, it helps that you're on the high ground, right? Yours is 3, so it probably makes sense to move forward at least a little bit. Alright, this is pretty likely to result in a kill. You know what I mean, the kill of the stack. Okay, pretty high roll on damage there. Damn it. I was really hoping we were going to get out of there without losing anybody. Alright, it's just one soldier. It's not that big of a deal. But obviously, like, the stuff that's down here is not super valuable to us at the moment. It might not be worth the life of one soldier. Let's get Aurelia's blessing back. Touch this, and then maybe we just ignore these guys for right now. They're in front of some important loot. But that will be much more important once we have a like a proper settlement. The building materials in here will come into play. So I think for the moment, let's just push onward. Okay, that's inconvenient. I am going to have to be right back. I'll see y'all in a second. Okay, sorry about that. You know, sometimes I think the outside world doesn't prioritize my need to play video games. Anyway, these Barian mercenaries are blocking the way to some caged prisoners. This is almost certainly actually more troops. So let's go ahead and grab that. Uh-oh. Barian, my good tenant, I'm here to collect your payment. The gold is sorely needed. My people are starving, and I must pay the tithe to the Stouthearts. Baron, according to the lease, the barony of Loth must maintain the roads to and from the leasehold of Comfrey. As you are in breach of the contract, there will be no payment, and the land now defaults to the merchant house of Fairbrand. Come now, the damage to the roads was caused by recent flooding. They will be repaired when the water recedes. Then you should have stipulated those details in the lease before signing. And now that Comfrey is part of the Free Cities of Baria, they will consider any acts of aggression as a proclamation of war. But this is the ancestral seat of the Barony of Loth. We cannot accept this. I will not relinquish these holdings due to a trick in merchant contract. You should have read your contract. A contract will not strip me of what is owed. If we don't get the gold, then we're seizing Comfrey by force. Very well. I have received your declaration of war. I will inform the House of Fairbrand. Prepare yourselves. Well, what if I just kill them? What if we just kill them before they go give that declaration to anybody? Seems like a thing we ought to be able to do. Alright. Let's deal with these pikes. We knew you were going to declare war. You barons always hunger for war. But you have left me with little choice. If I do not pay Stoutheart, I'll lose the barony and be exiled just like Hammond. Yeah, they don't care about that, very obviously. Okay. Definitely feels like we want to keep the archers up on the high ground. Okay, so they're already within range to do the fighting. May as well just fully commit here. If I quicken, I can strike first. So we have about the same health and about the same... No, actually, they have way more damage output than I do. Yeah, engaging first is maybe actually a bad idea. Well, let's clear one of the stacks. Do I want to shoot here? Yeah, I can get to deadly range. I didn't do nearly as much damage as I was hoping. Okay, we might be able to finish them from there. It might be the case that I should have passed with the stalwarts and done the archer shot first. But the fact is, I would rather lose like shield guy lives than more militia's lives. Yep, improve your order spells. I love tiering up my spells. Hail, my good fellows. How did this happen? Baron Aldous, we'd been gambling with the mercenaries at the tavern, and some nights ago we lost quite severely. Such things happen. The brigands said we were in their debt, and as we couldn't pay, they named us indebted and put us in this cage. Well, we'll have none of that. You're free now, my good man. Yeah, no, absolutely, I take the footman. The level up threshold on this first map is probably quite small, would be my guess. So let's, like I was saying, let's remove this and turn it into a timber mill. I don't even know if we're actually going to get to do any building in this this particular map. The road ahead was washed out by the flood, and water levels were rising. These floods are worse than I thought. We need to retake the lands of Comfrey to feed these people. My lord, there is an old path that follows the north end of the lake. It'll take longer, and there is much lawlessness. Well, lead on. We haven't any time to lose. Okay, an old camp, definitely welcome. Yeah, hugely welcome. We could go back and fight. Oh no, sorry, there's a cliff here. It's probably not worth going to the bandit hideout. We'll see. We'll take a look at it at the very least. All right, 900 bonus gold. Okay, if it's a simple fight, I mean, why not? I feel like the enemy units on the north side almost always get to go earlier than the ones on the south side. So let's try to keep our archers as safe as possible. I do wish this guy wasn't going to get to go next. But I think we gotta, try to completely block up their game. That is a lot of dead. Yeah, we lost more footmen than I was hoping. Managed to protect the archers at least, though. That's our greatest asset for the moment. Okay, bunch of wood and gold and stuff. Cool things that we can't use. +1 movement for the wielder is super high value. Probably worth grabbing Glimmerweave at this point. I don't know when else we'll be able to see any. These are okay gloves. There are certainly a lot of gloves that are better. I wonder how long it'll be until we find more, though. And, like, we're not super short on gold for the moment. I guess we'll take the gloves. A little extra sight range is nice. Okay, wolves and bandits. Always with the wolves and the bandits. We can't actually see what's past the wolves. Actually, I think as we walked up there, the darkness moved back a little bit, and it looks like maybe it's just a cliff. It's interesting how uneven the stacks are. All right, you have 3 move. That's a real shame, because I'd like to get up here without walking through his stuff, but I don't know if I want to use a quicken for it. I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter probably how we do this. Okay, I don't know that I'm going to attack. Yeah, I guess I am. Obviously, you just get all of the ranged attacks. Boy, enemies really hate the militia. Yeah. Alright, we're going to lose some archers here. Or maybe not, actually. I am not going to attack. Make the wolf do the work. Because that way the wolf doesn't attack the archers on his turn instead, which is what would have happened if we had attacked with our single militia. And obviously that's an outcome that we do not have any interest in. Okay, so the battles are getting... Yeah, the darkness rolled back and revealed a cliff. It turns out there's nothing else back here. Well, I'm a little worried. A large number of brigands had set up camp here. As the Baron's forces neared them, they could see a cloaked figure moving amongst them. You're Baron Aldous. Rot. We hope to be gone long before you arrived. I am, and we are here to rid this land of your lot with Aurelia's courage at our back and her fury in our arms. We too pray to Aurelia, or we will. Please forgive us. I can forgive many things, but the burning and murdering that has happened here is too much. We will all pay in blood. I mean, let them convert if they want to convert, dude. We are not in a position to say no to that with this level of force. Yeah, this could be really ugly. Okay. So obviously I was thinking I wanted to jump up to here with the archer. I am going to quicken my dude, my melee unit, so that he can take up the high ground. And I guess I'll take the swing. Oof, that did not really go our way. Alright, getting proper high ground might not be worth the trouble. I don't want to lose the damage output. Okay, I was a little worried here, but actually it turns out we're very fine. Yep, level 2 Quicken already doing significant work. Yeah, we are bleeding units so rapidly. It would have been really, I think, a wise idea to take their conversion seriously and let them join up. So we're going to be up against Barians for sure, which means destruction magic. And chaos magic. I am going to take magic resistance early. It's like command would not do anything right now. So, as much as I would love to be able to run 4 stacks of troops, we have to actually have some damn troops before that's worthwhile. Alright, we'll get a little bit of free experience here. A faint hum was heard near this ancient archway. Even as this ancient archway crumbles, so too does the honor in people's hearts. I fear we may be too late to stop the Barians and save Aurelia's faithful. What hope do the people of Loth have now? My lord, there is an old shrine south of here, the last one on the Pilgrim's Trail. Perhaps Aurelia will hear us in our time of need. Well, lead on, for even if we are to meet our end, it'll be a comfort to speak the oath once more. Okay, and that time he does interact with the item before... I don't know why it's like that. Alright, and I'm realizing I think I forgot to build my croft. Yeah, I totally did. That thing could have been paying itself off this whole time. Not that it takes very many turns for that to occur. In the trees, neglected and worn, they found the third ancient shrine of Aurelia. Aldous and his troops knelt in front of it. Soldiers of Loth, kneel with me to recite the final passage of the oath to Aurelia. May we draw strength from her to defeat these Barians, and should we fail, or should we fall, we'll die knowing we did it to defend those in need. If I am called, my oath will soon deliver, my body, soul, and spirit to your side. For Arleon, Aurelia eternal, I swear this oath, so I will never die. And here's the unseen, all of a sudden, looking pretty seen. As Baron Aldous and his troops spoke the last lines of the oath, a large group of cloaked figures approached from the north. Their leader stepped forward and pulled back her hood. Baron Aldous, I too am a devoted follower of the great Empress Aurelia. My faithful and I often pray here, and I've prayed for a meeting of just this kind. A meeting with me? Well, I'll gladly offer the little help I can, but I have my duties already. I have many duties already. You misunderstand, my Baron. It is I that offer help. I belong to an order named the Unseen Society, and we would lend our strength to yours and rid this land of brigands and Barians. While I would welcome your aid, I fear that I cannot pay you. We don't need gold. All we ask is for the freedom to pursue our research in your barony. We want to unearth the old structures of the Empire and try to learn how the Empress could rule with peace and prosperity. That is a noble goal. If you can help us oust the Barians, I will gladly welcome your research into the past. Then we are allies. I will lend my own strength as a wielder to you if you would let me. Well, of course. I should have guessed you possessed power. Just one question. I have seen men like your followers in the bands of the brigands, and even slain some of them. Why is that? Well, they've been preaching Aurelia's word and trying to convert them to our ways. We hoped those brutes could have been turned by words instead of violence. I see. You were very wise to seek a peaceful outcome. I am satisfied and eager to give these Barians a good beating. I will send word to my scholars, oath chanters, and toxicologists to come to our aid. By Aurelia's glory, Loth shall rise in favor once more. Okay, Well, we barely had enough stuff for the one character we already had to do. So what do you have? You have 10 toxicologists, 10 cultists. Okay, it's not a horrible army, honestly. I mean, you also will want to touch the Forgotten Sanctuary. A lot of these shrines and stuff have had temporary buffs, but pretty important that we get the good permanent buffs on everybody, I think. Alright, a bunch of bonus XP. Let's take some Glimmer Thread. Let's look at the camp. Yeah, I'll take 10 cultists. So we're seeing a little bit more in the way of, what's the word I'm looking for here? A little bit more in the way of Arcana essence with this force. And I do love the Arcana spells an awful lot. I'm debating like splitting these cultists into 2 stacks, or maybe splitting the scholars. Yeah, let's do that. A little bit of extra essence. And then, do I want to send you down to the lab? I don't think so. My Lord Baron, welcome. We dedicated toxicologists are ready to serve. Well, this lab is impressive. Have you been here long? A short while. Many toxins and serums are needed to clean the antiquities of the Empire, and to care for the bones of the ancients. And, while it was not our intent, we've noticed the same toxins are quite effective should brigands dare stray too close. Well, brigands or barians, for now, that is what I need you for. Okay, yeah, super welcome. Welcome aboard. Okay. So we're both just kind of pushing forward in the same direction here, though, I think. I guess we let Ambertina lead, rather. Ambertina. What a strange name. The small village of Sunglade was almost entirely flooded. An old farmer stood by the smithy, his feet deep in the mud. Greetings. We don't have much to offer, but we'll gladly help in any way we can. I've heard you're fighting back against the barians and brigands. And we are, by the grace of Aurelia. This will be a strong seat of power for Loth again. Well, together for her. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna do a discard here. No, I should pull them, even though it is going to dramatically reduce the amount of essence we're generating in the average turn. It's probably worth it. Okay, chainmail hauberk is like a decent-ish piece of armor. Yeah, and I guess there's not much more to your turn. We have quite a stockpile of Glibberweave already. It's still probably right to take it. Tribute to Destruction. Always good stuff. I think these are more XP buildings. Great news, great news. Okay, I haven't actually seen what Ambertina's skills look like right now. When an enemy troop dies, you gain their final charge of essence. Ooh, I do like more Essence Leech. We haven't really done Essence Leech yet, but... it does seem like a fun one. Alright. The Baron is like very, very much on the cusp of leveling up as well. Gosh, I keep waiting for the enemy turn cycle to play out, and it just doesn't, because it turns out there really aren't any enemies. It's a very simple map. All right, so I guess we got to fight our way through here in order to make it any further forward. I'm honestly not sure we can take these ones. Not with you. Yeah. Army's showing up as awfully dangerous to both of them. We could consolidate some troops a little bit. Okay. What a day this is turning out to be. All right, well, I'm here though, and there's no more interruptions, hopefully, because hopefully. Okay, so we're not in a great position to actually take on a bevy of pikeneers and musketeers. Am I allowed in my settlement to construct unit buildings? I'm not actually allowed to see what I'm allowed to construct if I don't have an open slot, right? But I wouldn't think so. I'm sure we're not. I'm sure we're still not. So, I guess the only thing to do is to merge these units. Merge these armies. So if I dropped, let's say I dropped the 2 footmen and passed over these cultists instead. So we're getting Arcana Destruction, Order Creation. We're getting like a weird bevy of things. I'd wanna give it to Baron Aldous rather than Ambertina, I think. Maybe we want to just fill up her army. Yeah, okay. I think I've decided that that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just pass over all these, and then trade those. All right. I was thinking we might want to do Baron Aldous because he has the tier 2 order spells. But order spells really are like a force multiplier on your troops, right? And right now we don't have any troops to multiply on. So at the moment, having like a tier 2 rally on our 2 footmen or whatever, it's not actually that much better. Okay, this is a bummer. Well, obviously I can sing myself a little song. And I guess I want to. We'll move forward some. Try to basically like offer this unit up as somebody for the gunners to shoot. And then yeah, I don't know, we have to wait for them to come to us to some extent. Yeah, rather than move forward. Okay, so there's both of the gunpowder units having fired. So Psychic Spear is obviously not super strong. Trying to figure out what I think is the right play here. This will kill 1.5 pikes, or about 1.5 musketeers. How much damage do the musketeers do? They do 3 to 5. I guess their range damage and their melee damage are the same, right? There's not actually a it's not actually a modifier for that. So I can get adjacent to the muskets. We're bringing in 5 income per round here. So we're probably not going to get to the fireball. Sabotage just isn't really that impressive at this level, though. Yeah, alright. Let's do the sabotage. The fireball won't do that much damage either, right? Is another critical thing to remember. Okay, so we can be rid of one of the stacks at the very least. So run forward to here so that I can pick at the ranged. You only have 3 tiles. So we do have a very weak dimensional door. All right, I'm gonna move up. Managed to put together justice. Not really all that impressive. So obviously we can use repel to generate free damage in certain situations. Like I could dimension door this unit over to here and then, well, I was gonna say and then do a repel and get some free damage, but actually that's less the case here than I would like it to be. Increasing spell damage power is not going to do very much right now. We only have 1 damage spell available. Yeah, and unfortunately, Order Arcana is just not a very good combination. The Order Arcana spells are not super compelling. And we can certainly make a lot of Arcana if we want to do an essence bump on this guy. I'm wondering if that makes sense. No, let's just deal damage. I know I'm going to be losing units here, but all right. There we go. We managed to remove most of the punch from these ranged units, and now we have enough for a rupture, which is certainly going to be helpful. And then if I don't attack, yeah, let's just not attack. We'll have enough for a repel now. And in this case, I think it's actually really valuable. And then, yeah, finish you off. And the toxicologist poison apparently doing some very solid work. That was ugly. That was really ugly. But it could be worse. Yeah, it would be very helpful to have some actual magic, or some actual melee units, rather. I was, sorry, saw the word magic as I was speaking. Yeah, Arcana magic, right? It's gotta be. And then, where on earth are we going? Some weary rangers approach from the south. Ambertina, Boar's Hollow lies to the south, and we would gladly welcome the Unseen Society while we gather the strength needed to do battle with the brigands. Thank you. May Aurelia be with us, now and forever. We will march to Boar's Hollow, but what do you know of the brigands? Well, they've captured Comfrey and are establishing a base by the coast. We should expect them to eventually come through the mountain pass and take these lands as well. Well, we'll be ready. Okay, y'all don't want to, like, stick around, join the army. Fair enough, I guess. Alright, let me borrow from you these units. You know what? It is kind of interesting. So the way a lot of strategy games work armies is that each unit in the army has a certain amount of movement that it can do per turn, and then the movement rate of the army is equal to the movement rate of the slowest unit within the army, basically. But the way this game is set up, where the wielder is the only thing tracking movement, it is theoretically possible for you to pass a unit forward like a really considerable distance if you just keep handing them off from one wielder to another in a big chain. And that's kind of silly. I guess I sort of like how silly it is. But obviously, like, there are very good reasons that it often works the other way. Pretty good shooting. So I think this one, yeah, this stack over here is in deadly range of the archers. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was really hoping that the Dreeth were gonna go after the militia the way everybody else seems to, because we might have been able to get out of there without losing anybody. Split their damage up, but whatever. One is not so bad. Income up. It's a very small income up. I don't think that's very exciting. Let's go ahead and grab the point of command now. It's kind of cool to have the what do you call it? It's kind of cool to have the extra magic resistance in general, but I honestly don't think it's very useful right now. What's going on over here at this forgotten grave? We found a knife and also some glimmerweave. Well, that's cool, I guess. Presumably these cultists are just going to be eager to join up. Baron Aldous, we of the Unseen welcome you to our excavation. We're on our way to unearth an old statue, but we've encountered a problem. And what may that be? The bones of fallen soldiers that were entombed nearby have somehow come back to life and are now guarding the valuables uncovered. Strange. I might investigate. Why do these undead arise? We are unsure. We would join your troops to assist. How weird. The dead just got up and started moving around. It's totally unheard of. Alright, who is in this camp? 15 more cultists. Okay, this is still a bit of a risky battle, but I think we're gonna be able to take it next turn. Okay, I'm allowed to attack this turn even though I have no movement left. Bound by her, bound to guard. Her, is it the Empress you speak of? She is long gone from this world, though her essence remains. Bound by her, bound to conquer. I would have use of the treasures you guard. Stand aside, for I am the lawful ruler of this land. Yeah, negotiate with the corpse. That makes sense. Sometimes I gotta wonder about these guys. We definitely want to let the archers have the high ground, since the other guy can afford to move before shooting. I do think this is, like, the toxicologists are very powerful. So, sadly, they are able to reach the high ground. All right, we're just going to move you to here and I guess sing a little bit. And I guess sing a little song about it. So if I go here, I will just barely be able to hit this stack. Yeah, you also hit him, because if we can get rid of these guys, then the enemies can't reach any of us. Looks like we will not be so lucky. Alright, militia are working as bait, though. God, it takes a lot of work to push through all these enemies. Holy hell. That's not what I meant to do. Shit. That was an absolute accidental misclick. Stupid twitchy hands. Okay, well, you go down. We get to make our archer technically attack without getting counterattacked. We're a little bit short of the repel that would be extremely useful here. I guess we'll just melee attack. You know what? I'm just going to Dimension Torrent this guy back up to here where he belongs, where he's supposed to be. That's annoying. I was really hoping they would go after the militia. Alright, well, there's no more retaliations, so we may as well just have at. And I can lower his initiative. He's got his retaliations back now, though, so we do have to be a little careful. Yeah, I guess this is just kind of your job. Absorb that counterattack. Every one of these battles feels expensive. They're doing a really good job of selling me like the fragility of our units. We have some offensive power, but there's a lot of fragility. All right, I love plus movement, especially early on. All this important stuff to get. I'm imagining we get to just like walk in here and take over, right? As Ambertina's forces neared Boar's Hollow, a member of the Unseen Society came out to meet them. Ambertina, we've been welcomed here by the farmers and townsfolk. Many of our brothers and sisters will flock to our banners once we begin excavations. Good. We will begin immediately. So, is the Barony of Loth our patron? They are sworn to Aurelia and ready to support our important work. Together for her. Together for her. Sounds like a Razor commercial, but fine. Alright, 2,900 gold, which is an awful lot. This open face thing. Oh, I didn't realize the Guardian Monument's actually in the water. So there's not really much reason for Aldous to come back here, I think. Maybe we want to just like look ahead a bit. We don't have any recruitment buildings for him to benefit from, really. Although we are allowed to change that now. Cool. Well, I don't necessarily actually care about cultists, but once we can get necromancers, that's exciting. So let's go ahead and build this and start leveling that up. Okay, there are many powerful beasts in the area below us, but also there is a Fey offering tree. Gotta accumulate those important permanent stat changes. Gosh, what do I think is over there? You know what? Let's have you fall back to the offering tree as well. I do wish we were in better position with recruiting. We're not going to have any like meaningful amounts of new units for a while. Let's go ahead and build a croft because we need a croft to upgrade this. At least we have lots of building materials stored up. Okay, all we can build there is a Forum of the Unseen. Here we can make a laboratory, which is very important. We're going to need a timber mill as well. I can probably take these guys and, you know, that is a valuable set of resources. Yeah, all right. Let's see what we can do about this. Hopefully we can lead them on a wild goose chase around this like central area and just kill most of them before they get anywhere near us. So you're able to get to basically anywhere. Just offer up the cultists as bait, basically. All right, excellent bait. They really did the thing. That's probably lethal, right? Gosh, do I even want to use any of our spells? I guess so. You know what? 50% damage reduction on that guy is significant. And that's definitely an order spell that benefits in a really meaningful way from the tier up. Okay. It is a very sad sound. I guess we'll take the Ancient Amber. Certainly not very exciting. Sorry, I want to get the toxicologists producing, and then we can worry about upgrading them afterward. Okay, the Oath Singers I know have a better song. 16 offense, 12 defense on 4 to 7 damage. Okay, they are better fighters as well. Suppose it's worth noting. I guess for the moment I'm just gonna have you scout ahead. Yeah, we're nowhere near being able to clear this. So I guess swing through here. Grab some... Maybe we do want... Even though there's only one of you, maybe it's still worth it? It's a lot of Arcana Essence. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to disband my militia. I'm going to move my militia into defense in the town here. We'll just grab both of the things. Every single troop in the city. Oh, wait. Actually, you know what? I get you scouting ahead. You haven't even... There are permanent buffs you could be gaining here. And soon, Barians. So many Barians. This road led to Comfrey and the Barians that occupied those lands. Well, I suppose that's good to know. Once again, probably ought to be careful with our faction leader on account of a single military misstep, meaning death. Okay, Loth Loyalists. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of room for militia right now. My heart swells with pride. You're fighting back against the Barians. My Baron, we who dwell in these lands are and will always be loyal subjects of the Barony of Loth. Let us help you fight these invaders. Wow, that's a lot of units, actually. I don't... I'm really debating whether I think it's worth it to drop anything for them. Yeah, welcome aboard. So these guys are dealing like 15 to 20 damage per swing. While here we're getting 20 to 60. Yeah, I guess that's the way of it. Okay, so that's still pretty far away from any of our stuff. Or at least we don't really know of a path from our stuff to that. Okay, now we have to buy a timber mill. I don't honestly even know that that's worth it. We could get another small building slot if we needed one, but I don't really think that we do. So this is probably a large Barian settlement, right? Wait, did I... Okay. It didn't mark it as visited in the text, but I had in fact visited. So they have a tower. They have real defenses. But not necessarily a lot of defenses. I'm wondering if it's actually worth bringing the second army over here. I think I'm going to stay home. Try to put together a reinforcement army. All right, we're closing up on the conflict here. I don't necessarily feel up to it. We might want to... Gosh, we could get another level, maybe gain a point of command. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what my plan is, but I think I want to improve a little bit before we engage in a lot of heavy combat with the enemy wielders. But in any case, for right now, I think this is where we're going to leave it. We have developed some basic infrastructure. We've got some of our neat human units, and when you come back next time, we are going to meet the Barians on the battlefield properly, face to face, and probably only kind of get shot to little pieces doing it. And we'll see you then.